Hi, everybody. Welcome to Vanessa's Van Life Journey. I am Vanessa. I live in the van, and her name is Sunshine. I have plans to live in a van. Her name is Sunshine. Treasure died. I'm building out Sunshine. Let me turn this thing off, y'all. Oh my goodness. It's giving me a reflection. That's for my nighttime videos. So, I am here today and I'm doing a vlog. It's going to be a talking vlog. And I'm going to be folding some clothes and just fixing my bed and doing some things while we have a chit chat. Y'all let me know how y'all like this type of video. I could just sit down and do a regular chit chat with you guys, but I want to be accomplishing something else while I'm doing it. But right now, before I start, OMG, it is hot up in here. Y'all, this little heater from Walmart or Home Depot, wherever you buy it from, the little radiator electric heaters, they work so good, especially in a small room. It gets too hot. I end up having to turn it off. Let me show y'all the heater. And it has different settings. Let me see. Let me turn it off. 1, 2, 3. 3 settings. And then it has this right here. And baby, this thing works so good. This thing worked too good. So you guys, I am here to have a little chit chat with you guys. I want to start just talking about different things on the channel. And I want to talk about people quitting their jobs, selling their junk, and hitting the road. There are so many people that want to do that nowadays. Y'all let me know in the comments if you are one of those people that would love to quit your job, that would love to sell your junk, and would love to just hit the road and say, forget about everything in life. There are so many people that dream of that, and the nomad life and van life and people who do traveling vlogs have made that so appealing to people nowadays. But is that practical? Like, can you really see yourself quitting your job, selling all your junk, and hitting the road? Can you really see yourself doing that? And can you actually do it? A lot of people dream of doing it, but can they actually do it? So, I'm going to fix this bed. And while I fix the bed, we're going to talk about, like, what are the pros and cons of quitting your job, selling all your junk, and hitting the road. Can you feasibly do that? Less is more. When you quit your job and when you sell all your junk and when you move out of your house or your apartment, you're going to have less expenses, less. So sometimes it's hard for people to imagine, well, can I really quit my job? How will I survive? Will I be able to make it? That depends. That depends on, let me sit down for a minute. That depends on how much debt you have. That depends on your lifestyle choices, like what kind of car you drive, what kind of clothes you wear, what kind of food you like to eat. Like, quitting your job, selling all your stuff, and hitting the road doesn't have to mean a total drastic life change if you have the means to keep up that life change. If you can work remotely, like if you have a job where you work from home already and you could work from anywhere in the world, then you could very well not quit your job, sell all your stuff, and hit the road. Or you could quit your job, sell all your stuff, and hit the road and find a remote job. or become a content creator. There are so many people that are becoming content creators that some people are quitting their job, selling all their stuff, hitting the road, becoming content creators, and making more money than they've ever made on a job with that freedom. Not just financial freedom, but freedom to travel, freedom to have peace of mind, freedom not to be a part of the hustle and bustle, freedom not to be in a job where you are going to be mistreated by a boss or coworkers. OMG. I didn't know about van life when I was in the workplace, but I wish I would have known about van life. I always, it was always in the cards for me to know about van life and to eventually do van life. It was just, if you know, if I share some of the things that kind of led up to me starting van life, and some of the things that were in play years ago, that I could have very easily started van life, but I didn't know anything about van life. But it was like, even though I didn't know anything about van life was in me. And a lot of people have so much problems on their job with their bosses, their coworkers, that they want to quit their jobs. So being able to imagine that you could quit your job, that you could become a content creator, that you could make more money than you make on a job, and have the freedom to do whatever it is that you want to do in life. So many people are willing to like take that chance. And for some people who don't have a good job anyway, and they're making minimum wage, and they're like, oh, I can start living out of my car, I can start living out of my van, I can start backpacking, and that would be interesting content, and my channel will grow really fast. And so there are so many people that are becoming content creators. There are so many people that are becoming nomads. There are so many people that are doing car life, RV life, van life, and the majority of them are not even content creators. They just want to hit the road. They just want to live a life of freedom and peace and joy and happiness. And that's what van life has done for me. Even though I didn't quit a job to do van life, I quit the idea of having a regular 9 to 5 job. Like, I don't think that I will ever, never, ever have a 9 to 5 job. Less is more. As long as I can sustain my life and be able to feed myself, clothe myself, even though, yes, I want more than just surviving. I want to be able to travel freely. I want to do more than just travel in a van. I want to travel the world. I want to go on cruises. I want to go backpacking. I want to go mountain climbing, skydiving. I want to eventually do it all, and, just, I pretty much say that I can do anything one time. I would love to have first time experiences at some of everything. And sometimes, you guys, when you want to quit your job, sell your stuff, and hit the road, sometimes if that's a passion and you really want to do it, you just have to take the bullet, bite the bullet, take the bull by the horn, and you're just going to have to do it and let the chips fall where they may, and say, well, I'm going to do this for 3 months, or I'm going to do this for 6 months, however much savings you have up. If you're in an industry where you can get a job quickly, maybe you can quit that job, and if it doesn't work out, then try to find another job. If you're in an industry, like if you're working in fast food and you don't have like a real career, but you want to take a chance at being a YouTuber, hitting the road, becoming a nomad, what do you have to lose? You're making minimum wage. At the least, you probably can make minimum wage doing YouTube, or you can might make less than minimum wage. And depending on how many hours you want to put in a week, you might make less than minimum wage. Like right now, I'm pretty sure I am making less than minimum wage with somebody making working 40 hours a week. But the reason why I can make it work is because I have very few bills, and my peace, to me, my joy and my happiness and my freedom is worth more than what the trade-off would be in working a 9 to 5 job. Sure, anybody can go get a 9 to 5 job, be on the clock every day, have to be, at work a certain amount of hours, have to deal with coworkers, have to deal with bosses. Like, anybody could do that. But it takes, not everybody can take a chance on themselves and say, I've been wanting to do this. Can I give myself 6 months to a year to just see if I can really actually do this? And believe it or not, getting rid of your job, getting rid of your apartment, getting rid of your house, buying a car or a van that is paid for, that you could travel in, or not even buying a car or a van to travel in, and maybe like do backpacking, or maybe just go from city to city, or maybe do cruises. Like, there are some people that live on cruises. The amount of money that some people spend for rent, like, I seen this individual on YouTube that lives on a cruise ship for around $2,500 or $2,000 a month. That's some people's rent. And then the person is a content creator, so they're making money to be able to sustain that lifestyle on the cruise ship. Like, you have to start somewhere. Like, doing van life or becoming a nomad takes on different forms, and it's not the same for everybody. So, should you quit your job? Should you sell all your stuff? And should you become a nomad? Should you hit the road, Jack, and don't come back no more, no more, no more, no more? That is totally 100% up to you. You have to evaluate your situation. If you have kids, what responsibilities you have. Do you have pets? Can you walk away from certain things that you're attached to? Can you walk away from the lifestyle that you used to? Can you still have a similar lifestyle being a nomad? That is something that you're going to have to answer for yourself. But what I would say is, don't let the negativity playing out in your mind keep you from trying it at least 6 months to a year, or even 3 months. If it's something that you really, really, really want to do, if it keeps coming up in your mind, if it's a thought that you cannot let go, if it's a thought that you cannot kick, then maybe you need to bite the bullet, and maybe you need to try to quit your job, become a nomad, sell all your junk. I remember my last job, I quit it. Like, I woke up one morning and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I didn't have another job. I didn't have a plan. It was just something inside of me that said, it's time. I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. and I called in. We had a hotline where we called in if we were going to be late for work. And I called in and I said, I quit and I'll be in later to fill out the necessary paperwork to quit. I didn't even give a 2 week notice. And I knew from that day I had to do an exit interview. I had to do an exit interview with several people. I had to do an exit interview with the manager, with several different managers of the company, and I had to do an exit interview with HR. I think I had to do like 3 exit interviews, and the manager, the main manager of the company that I worked for, asked me, he said, "Tell the truth. You have another job. You're going to another company, aren't you?" And I said, "No." And he was like, "Really? I don't believe you." And I was like, "No, I don't have another job lined up. I'm just tired." And so we talked and I elaborated on it a little bit. And he was like, "Oh, okay." And I told him, I say, "I will probably never work for another company again." Like, and even then, I didn't know about YouTube. Um, and I didn't know about the nomad life. I didn't know that even me choosing to quit my job then. But I mean, I kind of quit my job because I don't know. At some point, I was just giving up, and the less that I had, the less people would have to deal with. But at that moment when I quit my job, I don't think I was in that state of mind. Uh, but I quit my job and I walked away from my job, and that probably will be another story time. And less is more. I have less than what I had when I worked. I had bills, I had car note, I was remodeling my townhome. I still didn't have a whole lot of bills. I didn't have debt unless I created it. But I lived a very simple life. I didn't have to keep up with the Joneses. I liked what I liked. I liked nice things in my home. I liked nice clothes. I went to go get my hair done like every 2 weeks. I went to go get my nails done, my pedicure every 2 weeks. I wasn't a big person that wore a lot of makeup. I wore it when I felt like I wanted to. I like to dress a certain way. I always loved shopping at thrift stores, and I would find some nice quality pieces at thrift stores, clothing and furniture and household goods. Everybody would always say, "Vanessa, where did you get that from?" So, quitting your job, selling all your stuff, and hitting the road can be an achievable dream if you think about it long and hard, if you figure out what you'll need to achieve that, like what are you going to live in. I suggest whatever type of vehicle you have right now, start with that. Uh, Unless you need to sell your vehicle so you won't have a car note, or you don't want to have a car note, and then turn around, and if you can sell your vehicle and don't be upside down on it and get some money out of it, and then turn around and buy you another vehicle, do that. Or if you're in a position to sell your vehicle and turn around and buy you another vehicle without giving you a hardship, then do it. But if you have a vehicle paid off, by all means, start the nomad life and hit the road in the vehicle you have. There are many people that live in cars, that live in SUVs, that live in minivans, and there are many people that have had bigger vehicles, and now they're downsizing to smaller vehicles because they get better mileage, and it's better for insurance purposes, And yeah, it's better to be able to go places and be stealth in a vehicle. The smaller vehicle, like it's so many advantages for some people who want to live in a vehicle. So I would just say start where you want to start. Start with what you have and just start. And if quitting your job is the biggest fear that you have, it's nothing to fear but fear itself. If you plan your exit, like if you say, well, I'm going to work this job for one more year, I'm going to cut out the Starbucks coffee, I'm going to cut out the shopping, I'm going to cut out the Netflix, I'm going to cut out every bill but the essential bills. I'm going to start selling my stuff. I'm going to start having garage sales. When I decided to become a nomad and I wanted to do van life and I didn't even have a job, I started cleaning out my apartment. I'm like, I'm in this apartment. I have to start doing something to work towards what I want to do. I started a YouTube channel I started a YouTube van life channel without having a vehicle, without having a van. I started decluttering. Go back and watch the videos on the channel. I started decluttering my closets. I started bagging up stuff and saying, when I do get a car, I'm going to have a garage sale. I'm going to go to a flea market or something and sell for the weekend and get me some money to do my van bill. So I'm going to use everything that I have in my van. That was my first plan, to use everything that I had for my van bill. And then people stole my van and stole things that I had that I could have already used in van life, where I wouldn't have had to spend money up front. But that's how I did it. I will probably never, ever, ever work a 9 to 5 ever again in life. If I do, it's going to be something that I choose only for a season. But I don't really see anything that interests me. I kind of do have something that I'm kind of sort of interested in to pick up as a skill that I might decide to do in the future, but the chances of that happening are really, really, really slim to none. So, the amount of money that I make on my YouTube check, which I work on it every month to try to make it more, and getting on the road will probably help with that as well. But the amount of money that I'm making on YouTube right now, I just make it work. Like, I make it work. Like, if you have to eat sardines every day, if you have to eat lunch meat every day, if you have to, which thank God it hasn't resulted to that even when I was in Houston, if I had to go to the food pantry because I only had enough money to pay for my bills and gas and going to a few campsites, that's what I did. When you want something bad enough, you're going to do what it is that you need to do to achieve that goal. So if you want it bad enough, you have to ask yourself, how bad do you want this? And if you want that bad enough, then go for it and just do it. If you guys have any questions concerning this topic, leave it in the comments bar below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you have another topic that you want me to address or talk about, make sure you leave it in the comments. And I'm going to talk to you guys later. Let me know if this video was helpful, if you enjoyed it, or if you'd like for me to touch on this topic again, just from another aspect. Let me know in the comments. And thank you guys for watching. Bye now. I need to get up and fold my clothes, okay?